On this episode of Poorly Edited Animal Detectives.
Poor fella, what happened to him?
Bird attack. Probably never saw it coming.
Hold on, Johnson. My nose is picking up something.
Bingo.
Meanwhile, at the lab...
Detectives, you're just in time. The DNA analysis is almost complete and we've gathered all the suspects. Can we hurry this up? My wife is expecting me to bring her back some dinner.
This is ridiculous. My son and I have no business being here. All we need is shrimp and plants.
Shut up, Mom.
What?
It's finished. Now we can compare the different samples of DNA from the evidence, the victim, and each of the suspects for 2 types of variable number tandem repeat loci.
Cut to the chase, Dr. Vanessa von Schmuck.
Well, what we're trying to do is find an exact match of DNA between both the samples and one of the suspects. This here is the electrophoresis gel for the first feather you found. As you can see, the DNA of this sample matches up perfectly with Mr. Owl and Ostrich. The victim, Miss Flamingo, and a son all have different DNA fragments, meaning they don't share anything in common with this feather. Now I'll show you the electrophoresis gel for the second feather. This time, Ostrich and Miss Flamingo are both a match for the feather. Miss Flamingo's son is also pretty close, but notice that his second allele fragment landed at a different spot in the gel, meaning that his alleles are different from both his sample and the one before it, eliminating him as a suspect altogether. We can also tell from this that Miss Flamingo is actually the mother of a son, since the majority of their alleles for both tests match up with each other. Children have to receive at least one allele from their parent, and we can see that here multiple times. More importantly, though, we can start to eliminate the rest of our suspects. Mr. Owl did have matching alleles to one of the feathers, but because his results are completely different from the evidence sample in the second test, that means he isn't a complete match, and not who we're looking for. This is also why Miss Flamingo isn't who we're looking for either. Sure, she matched for the second test, but for the first loci test, there was no matches between her and the evidence sample. And that leaves us with only one suspect left. Someone whose alleles perfectly match those of both feathers found at the scene of the crime. Which means the killer is you!
Cluck cluck, motherfucker.